Well, hi guys. This is just some thoughts rambling through my head. It's not scripted or anything else like that, not this time. This will probably be the first, hopefully, of many videos to come. But as your average angry American patriot, my question is what the hell's going on with our country? We have a president who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, has put us in the worst situations that we have been in decades, to be honest. I believe we're at a 40-year high for illegal immigration. Inflation is at least a 30, if not a 40-year high. I mean, we haven't seen inflation like this since Jimmy Carter, and that's when I was a kid. This is ridiculous. And what are we doing to change it? Nothing. You know, they say wait till 2022 when we'll vote and we'll overturn the House and the Senate and it'll be back to Republican control. Wait till 2024 and we'll get a Republican president back in there. We might actually even get Trump back in there. My question is to you people, is the country going to even last that long? I don't think so. The way that things are going and the way that inflation is going and gas, I mean, come on. He's been in office now for 9 full months and gas has doubled? Give me a break. What's up with that? It's ridiculous. I remember when, like I said, before January, $1.50 a gallon by where I live. Now it's over $3. This is ridiculous. Which in turn, with gas prices going up, transportation prices are going up. And then there's a shortage of drivers. So, of course, food is going up. Toiletries are going up. Anything you're going to buy in a store is going up. So, if you get into the case of those Americans that are living on a fixed income, fixed income, I happen to be one of those. Well, with gas going up and groceries and everything going up, did my monthly income go up? No. My money goes a hell of a lot shorter than it used to. Why? Inflation. Now, let's not even discuss what happened in Afghanistan and the fact that this country is now a laughingstock of the world. We used to be a superpower. We used to be respected. It used to be the fact that when America said something and told people to toe the line, they did. The last administration, when he was in there and said something and told people to back off, they did. Why? Part was respect, part was fear. They feared the last administration. Why? Because if he said he was going to do something, he followed through with it. He didn't leave $83 billion worth of equipment for the enemy to have. They're now one of the world's best equipped armies. Why? We did it. Our stuff. Our tax dollars. Hard at work. Thank you, President Biden. Didn't bother listening to anybody, did ya? Or then there's the fact of, I don't recall anybody saying anything to me. That's what he said in an interview with George Stephanopoulos. You don't recall. You didn't recall. You can't recall. What do you recall? Are your faculties there at all? But heaven forbid he leave office right now. Don't invoke the 25th Amendment. Don't get him out of office, just him. Because then we're stuck with Kamala. And she's proven to be about as useless can be. Now, here's my question, and this is a real funny one that people really need to think about. Apparently, this country is the greatest nation on earth because you can go from being a call girl or an escort all the way up to being the vice president of the United States. And I'm sorry, high priced call girl, high priced escort, whatever. Go ahead and tell me there was nothing at all going on there. That it was just to be in public and be viewed with somebody. Really? The American people aren't stupid. But we don't want her in office. So that would bring us, if she's out of there, along with Biden being out of there, that brings us to Nancy Pelosi. That's about as good as having Biden in there. And Pelosi's not really doing much anymore because she's afraid of AOC. What is that? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who's running all over Pelosi. The whole group of them has become nothing. It's nothing more than socialist, Marxist. They don't teach these things in school anymore. When teachers have been asked, and I've asked people, why aren't we learning about World War II? Why aren't we learning about history beyond that in the past? Well, there's not enough room to be able to teach everything. So we've got to pick and choose what we teach. We've got to trim our curriculum. Okay, your trimming of curriculum means that the kids aren't learning about World War II and the Holocaust and what Hitler did, which is part of what's going on now with this damn vaccine credentials. You need to show proof of vaccination to get into bars and restaurants. Well, right now it's mainly bars in New York, but Los Angeles is working on passing it for bars, restaurants, gyms, any place for public gatherings, shopping malls. Pretty soon it's going to be any store at all. You've got to show proof of vaccination or 72 hours beforehand, you've got to take the test and show that you're COVID clear. Give me a break. Does anybody think back to Nazi Germany, other than those of us that are old enough to have remembered it from school, to be taught by our parents and our grandparents? To go anywhere in Nazi Germany, papers. Papiers, bitte. Meaning, show your papers or you're not going anywhere. Show your proof of vaccination or you're not getting in anywhere. Sound familiar? So we don't teach about the Holocaust. We don't teach, well, even just teaching about the Holocaust, we'll teach about the concentration camps. Like these FEMA camps that they're talking about. That's concentration camps, if you ask me. Then there's other little things like teaching about Stalin, Lenin, Marx, the past in the Russian history by itself and showing what these people did for socialism. And we're working out deals with the CCP, the Communist Chinese Party. And we're dealing with these people who, by the way, own the majority of our debt. So my question to you is, how soon before they come in and do a takeover? You know, everybody's worried about defaulting on our loans and this and that and the other thing. You know what? I understand why. We default on our loans, China comes in. It's a corporate takeover. Happens all the time. You think America isn't a corporation? Think again. If they can run finances, they can take loans and everything else. Yeah, they're basically a corporation. What happens to corporations that default on their loans and they owe people money? They get taken over. It's just like if you own a house or a car and you default on the loan. What happens? It's no longer yours. Let's wake up, people. You know, there's proof out there about the vaccine, which is being stifled, by the way. on your mainstream media. YouTube won't let it be played. Facebook will cut you off for it. Twitter will cut you off for it. Heaven forbid any of the mainstream, MSNBC, CNN, Washington Post, New York Post, whatever, New York Times, any of these networks, heaven forbid they report on it. Why? Because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know what is truly going on. They want you to be good little sheep, fall in line, do what you're told, don't think for yourself. Just like the CRT, what is that, critical race training or whatever the hell it is? Yeah, let's be a woke nation. Biden said back in 2015 when he was vice president, let's get more immigrants in here. We've got too many white European people in this nation. People with European backgrounds, white European backgrounds. Needs to be less than 50%. You know what? Now it is. White Caucasian people in this country are now a minority. Why? Biden opened the borders. We've had got to be close to 1 million people cross over the Mexican border alone since Biden opened it up. No vetting. We don't know who these people are. We don't know their affiliations. We don't know what they're going to do, who they're going to call, what they're bringing with them. Hell, we're not even testing them for COVID. But yet, Americans have to be tested. Americans have to show proof of vaccination. But these illegals that were supposedly stopping at the border and giving them a court date, oh, here, please show up. We're not enforcing anything. These people don't have to show any kind of vaccination. These people don't have to be tested for COVID whatsoever. But we're so concerned about the spread of COVID. Then why aren't we testing these people? Why are we opening our borders to these people? I understand that this is the great melting pot. I understand that it says, give us your weak, give us your weary on the Statue of Liberty and all of that stuff. But damn it, I'm third generation born in country. When my great-grandparents came over here, they did it legally. They came over from Germany. First, my great-grandfather, he worked, and then he got my great-grandmother over here. My great-grandfather didn't even speak English until my great-grandmother got here, and she told him, you're going to learn the language. If we're living in this country, you're going to learn. And they did. And they became citizens. And they lived here. And then my grandmother was born. Then my father was born. Then I was born. And my family has fought for this country. But yet, this country is disrespecting veterans. We've got more veterans living on the streets, living in squalor, than anything. But we're bringing over refugees. We're bringing over illegals. And we're basically putting them up in the damn Hilton in comparison to what we do for our own veterans. But yet, we see them, oh, thank you for your service. But older veterans, hey, screw you, buddy. What is this country coming to? January 6th, the insurrection as it's called, we all know it was bullshit. Excuse me. We all know it was baloney. I don't know if I'll have to cut that part. But we all know that it was fake. We all know it wasn't done by Trump. It wasn't done by his supporters. However, look at how they ran. This country is heading for a revolution. I told my parents back in 2008 to mark my words, by the end of everything, this would become a shooting war. They didn't believe me. I'm not promoting it. I would prefer to have peace and happiness. I would prefer for people to remove their head from their rectum and look at things and actually do things that are good for America. Not good for lining pockets, not good for giving the government more power. Our government was designed originally to be limited in power. Our states were meant to have more power over their state than the federal government. My, how that's changed. Our people in government were supposed to be representatives of the people. My, how that's changed. Joe Biden, he's been in politics for over 50 years. This man has never held a real job. Nancy Pelosi, I'm not sure on how long she's been in, but I'm sure it's been for a considerable amount of time. Therefore, another one, never holding a real job. These people have lost touch with their constituents. They've lost touch with reality. They have been sheltered in their own little world for so long, it's not funny. How do you know what your people are going through? Oh, well, I visited. Okay, how do you know what's going on at the border? Oh, well, I looked at things. No, you didn't look at things, Mr. Biden. You've never been to the border. Ever. Kamala Harris, you're supposed to be down there in charge of the border. Where are you? But then you've got our people that are trying to protect our border, and they're being told, oh, no, you can't do that. Oh, no, you can't have horses down there. You went to whip people. No, they didn't go to whip people with their reins, and that's been proven. But let's still take away their horses so they can't do their jobs. Great. Let's just open our borders and tell everybody, hey, come on over here. China, come take control. Russia, come take control. Come on, we're killing American jobs. We're opening our borders. It makes me laugh. President Trump gave the permit for the Keystone Pipeline. First thing President Biden did when he got in office was kill that. Killed 10,000 jobs right there off the bat for people working on the pipeline. Then let's expand on that, because those people are no longer working. That takes away revenue from the surrounding areas, because now they're not spending their hard-earned dollars in the surrounding stores, in the surrounding bars and restaurants and gas stations. Well, now those people, those establishments, don't need as many people because they're not making the revenue. So now they've got to let people go. And it trickles out further and further and further and further and further. So yeah, you killed the pipeline, killed 10,000 jobs. By the time you're done, you killed over 100,000 jobs. And then you have the audacity to basically beg OPEC to increase their oil production. And they laughed at you. They laughed. Why? Because it's money in their pocket. Because they can. We were energy independent. Our economy was flourishing. Why? The American people had more money in their pocket, more money to spend. And you killed it. Am I angry? Yeah. Yeah, I'm an angry American patriot. But like I said, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Either we need to do something as a whole, stick together, be united, and impose what the American people really want and really desire peacefully. Yeah, we might get loud with our voices, but no violence. I am not, and I will say this again, not promoting violence in any way, shape, or form. I don't want violence. I want a peaceful exchange of ideas. I want a peaceful agreement to happen to get this nation back to where it was 10 months ago. Come on. It's not that difficult. Right now, things can be turned around. How much longer that'll happen or be a possibility, I don't know. But I will say this much. If things don't change and people continue to get angry, it will be unfortunate. But I think this will come down to being a shooting war. Especially, I'll say this much, especially if you try taking people's guns. The people of this country have more guns and more weapons than the military. And are you going to ask the military to go door to door and kill their neighbors, their friends, their brothers, their mothers, their sisters, their families? Because, oh, they've got guns. You know, unless they are completely brainwashed and reprogrammed somehow, you're going to have a hard time doing it. Why? Because these are people that they love, people that they respect. You know, think back to the Revolutionary War, or actually not the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, North versus South. You had brothers and cousins and stuff like that on both sides. They did their best, and it was proven that many of them decided to get out of it together. Why? Because that was family. Family is thicker than you might think. Blood is definitely thicker than water. Not all family may be blood, but that bond is something you're not going to break. We are Americans. We have built this country from day one. This country has been built by our blood, our sweat, our tears, our lives. You're not taking it away that easy. There will be more videos to come, especially as I watch the news and I watch what's going on. I can't stand by or sit by and be silent anymore. I hope everybody has a blessed day. We'll talk again.